Identity. You might be asking yourself this quite a bit. Identity is between two parallels, I believe. You have one where it's full of vibrance and complexity. It's something where you don't specifically identify with any one people. You identify with many because you are a complex and sophisticated and special individual. In the other, the latter, the worse off, I presume, is one where your entire identity is isolated to one thing. Unfortunately for young men and young women in this world, when you turn 18 and you just got out of high school, the only thing you really have as an identity is, I just got out of high school. I'm graduated. Oh, what are you doing for college? Well, I'm not going to college yet. Oh, okay. So what are you doing? I'm doing a trade school kind of thing, Oh, okay. And it's just like, there's different identities, and people definitely judge you for them. They do. Don't get it twisted. People, if you are not affiliated with the correct thing, people will bash you for it. They do not care. Our society is built into, or enveloped with, communication and social divide. It will always be present, and we just have to do our best to maybe make it a little bit better. Now, how will you approach this in life? Will you be respectful of others and honest with yourself and try to be different and try to be special in your own way every day? Are you going to try to do a lot of things in life? Are you going to be full of variety and, perspectives? Try to surround yourself with multiple points of view? Or are you going to isolate to yourself, isolate to the group that you belong to and stick with that, and that is your only thing about you? Let's say I was a musician. I'm not really that good, I'm just a musician. I play the guitar, I sing. I've done a show one time for someone's funeral or something, but that's about it. I have a YouTube channel with 3 videos on it. Does that make you a musician? Are you really passionate about it? Are you doing a full-time job and then on the side you kind of do the musician thing? So, not that you should claim an identity. No one gets to claim an identity after a certain amount of hours. Like myself. I don't get to claim I'm a vlogger because I do this a couple times. I'm not a good vlogger, I'm not a bad vlogger. I don't even think I qualify as a vlogger. I could quit tomorrow and my videos would poof. They wouldn't matter, because I haven't built anything yet. I haven't built an empire or anything. So, when you think about it, you don't have to be the expert on anything, but even if you are the expert, is that all you are? Are you only that one thing? Let's say you are the best electrician in your entire area. In the whole county that you're in, you are the electrician. That's your entire identity. Maybe outside of work you could maybe make that a social strength. All right, hang on. We got to switch up the job to make this more believable. So, how about you are the best DJ in the area? I have to go with the DJ because it's too funny. Imagine you were the best DJ. How much social credit will you get? I don't know. Not much. You could be really good, man. You could be amazing. But people outside of that space don't get it, And if you're outside of that space, well, then you gotta do something else to make people interested and happy. if you're a DJ and I don't see you DJ in front of me, then I don't really know who you are then, because, well, you gotta have something else that you do. Or how about a dentist? Okay, well, you know about teeth. If you don't start inspecting my teeth and start going, oh, you need blah, 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 blah. You probably need braces. You need Invisalign. Oh, you need that and that. And your teeth are messed up, bro. Okay, I could see that. A doctor, you know. Like this morning, I was talking to a doctor. I know he's a doctor without even asking. Well, first of all, because it says on his badge, dummy, okay? But second of all, because when he starts talking, we start talking about height, I said, oh yeah, you could probably get that height surgery, you know? And he starts talking about how they break the bones, and then when they put them back together in a cast, they leave a little gap in between and get a couple extra inches out of it. And I'm like, oh man, the bone grows back, and that makes a lot of sense, you know? But then I was like, oh, well actually, what if they have a plastic bone that they replace it with and stretch it out, with a screw or whatever, and I was talking to him about that, and like, I don't know anything, but the doctor does. The doctor knows the logistics of it. Actually, he was a surgeon. I think he was a surgery doctor. And it's like, yeah, I have no idea about any of that stuff, but I'm inquisitive and, I'm curious. And picking apart someone's brain like that is pretty cool, because you have someone who has no idea anything about the subject, and you have another who knows a lot about the subject, but hasn't looked at it from your exact perspective before. Your exact question that you have in mind. So it is all about asking the right questions. Are you asking the right questions? That is the question. Take for example that interview that the interviewer that Elon Musk was talking to, and he said, well, why don't the rockets blah 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 do this? And Elon was like, never thought about that. And I think it was like, why don't you reuse those or whatever? Why could we do that, And later, Elon actually ended up doing that with the rockets. Now, I'm sorry, that was really bad context, really vague, but just pull up the clip. I really didn't get much more than that, but it's just the fact of asking the right questions to the right people gets things changed, makes things happen, and is pretty fascinating because everyone has something to give. Everyone has a perspective to offer. You just have to hear it out. Now, is everyone smart? No. There's some dumb people in the right field that know exactly how to do their field, but not much else. They're not innovators. They're not idealists. They're not trying to figure out the world. They're not very good at asking questions, and maybe they just they're okay at their job. Maybe they're not even good at it. Well, not everyone can be saved. But I would say that hopefully you should be an inquisitive person. You should be curious. You should ask people questions. And then maybe at some point, when you come across an expert in a subject, you can talk to them about it. For me, I met someone the other day at my job, and at first I'm like, oh, do you work here? Oh no, I'm a software engineer. I said, oh, that's cool. Took a mental note, held it in, did everything I had with him, explained everything from my end with health insurance, because that's what I do, and that was pretty cool. Getting to talk to him about that, and he's an inquisitive person like me. I actually got his business card, so that's pretty cool. But he has his own business actually, where he manages his own software company, and he builds software for electricians for their, whatever softwares they need. I'm assuming it's not just like Halo City or whatever for hiring and firing. I think it's more than that. I think it has to do with the electrical systems. But that's pretty cool that he's able to do that. Now, do I know anything about coding except for code.org? No, I have no concept of anything about coding. But I was able to talk to this dude for probably 10 minutes to 15 minutes. We could have talked more because I asked the right questions and I was genuinely interested in what he had to say. Because I don't need to know everything about coding. What I do need to know is that a lot of his work is very detail oriented, very specific, something that I have not learned anything about yet, except I know that there is, JavaScript and Python, a couple other things, right? I thought that's pretty cool. But we were talking to each other, and I was talking about, I don't think I would have gotten to web design because I think that's coding. I think it's similar. He probably built his own website, so that's pretty cool. And it's pretty interesting to talk to people where you have no concept on the subject and you just listen. Ask a question or two and make it a good one, not a stupid one, a real question with some real insight, because quite realistically, I'm never going to learn how to code. Probably not. But I can is learn about concepts and values of code and philosophy of code, or like a perspective on code from this guy. What is about that industry that I don't know. I want to know the feel of it. I don't want to know how to do it, as I'm probably not going to do it. But I can learn how it works, what they do, how it feels to be a coder, what they go through. And that was pretty cool to gain from him. And the stuff that I was talking to him about, is just stuff that he does. I actually know the guy across the street from me, my neighbor. He is he does something with technology. I really couldn't tell you to save the life of me. But he does a lot of stuff on his computer. Probably a coder or programmer in some sort of fashion. But he's got an angled keyboard for like psychopath gamers, where it's angled in a certain way where you can type like a maniac. That's cool. Sorry, it looks like a boar's up ahead in front of me. I'm trying to spot that out. But yeah, I always thought that was pretty cool. And then, man, what else? By the way, I am loving it out here right now. This is amazing. Let's see. Perspective. Perspectives of others. First off, take a look at that. Wow. Just an amazing view out here. Make sure to keep on the trail. That's what the sign says here. It is gorgeous out here. It really is. Let's see. Let's see there. People are amazing. Talking to people, interacting with them, whether you're in customer service or just out and about, asking people about what they do in their lives, their job, their passions, their values, their eyes on the world, what they believe in, what they see, what drives them forward. That right there is beautiful. That right there is amazing. you know? Sometimes I think we could do with a little bit more communication to each other. We could do with a little bit more of that. Sorry, I know it's the same trail. I don't know if you're bored yet, but I certainly am not. And again, I'm going off topic again, which I was trying to stray away from, but I feel like I needed to. I needed to get out here again, and I need to continue to keep coming out here because I love this. I really do. The smells, the silence, except for my yapping mouth. It's amazing out here. But that brings up one more point for me. Do you think water's wet? Whoa. I said it. Water is not wet. Or maybe it is. I think water itself is wet. You might be asking yourself, no way. No way. Water is definitely dry. It makes things wet. No, I'm like, okay. Think about it like this. Imagine if I have two water molecules together. What if the water makes itself wet because it touches another molecule? Therefore, even if the water is surrounded by water, it's making the water around it wet, which makes water wet. So even when you pour it on something, now that's wet too, and the water. Now you're thinking with your third eye, like Doctor Strange from that terrible movie. I don't know, just a perspective for you. Also, I hate Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts be stupid. You go to the vending machine, they be $2. You look at them, the only thing they have is the strawberry one. The strawberry one is dry and crumbly. It's expired for about the last 3 months. It's been crushed to pieces because it was thrown in a box where the vending machine kind of shook it around a little bit. And then it also falls to the ground in the vending machine. You take it out and you take a bite as it crumbles into your lap. And you just realize that you spent $2 of your hard-earned cash on a Pop-Tart. And if you get it all into your mouth and not on your pants, then you now have to clean the sugar residue and crumbled fake plastic cookie processed garbage off of. Even if you do, it's 400 calories for a mild morale boost. You know what is significantly cheaper? Not that I'm sponsored. Caffeine. You know those caffeine pouches that they try to shill to the military? It's like slight morale boost. I know you've seen those ads on Instagram. That right there is probably better value than a Pop-Tart. And it probably melts your metabolism a little bit better. Probably helps with fat loss. Now, food is food, right? You gotta fuel your body, but let's be real. I don't care if you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, maintain your weight, gain muscle. Eating a Pop-Tart does nothing for you. There's a reason Rice Krispie treats are superior. Rice Krispie treats are a fuel source for the gym or a runner. What do runners use? They use those little honey packs. Whoa, not that kind of honey pack. I'm talking about a runner honey pack. Not for that kind of cardio. That's a different cardio. No. You know, they use honey or fruit or whatever. Or Rice Krispie treats. You know, that's a clean carb source. Not really, it's highly processed. But Pop-Tarts are compact. They're compact little cookies with so much sugar in them. So many calories for no reason. And I'm gonna eat that whole pack. I'm not gonna eat one Pop-Tart and be satisfied. I'm going to take that 2-pack of Pop-Tarts and eat them like a sandwich. I'm not going to separate them one by one and toast them and only eat one and leave the other in the package and go, I'm satisfied, I'm good to eat that another time. What? That is not indulgence, and that is sad. There's two things, actually three things. The look of a volume, the feel of a volume, and also the after effects of said volume in your mouth, right? So I want to look at a food and go, whoa, if I eat that, I'm gonna be full. Second one, I want to eat that and be full, whether that's full of water, full of air, popcorn or a water balloon or Jello or a big smoothie bowl with lots of ice in it. Whatever. By the way, that's something I use a lot every night before I go to sleep. I smash a smoothie bowl. That is clutch. But I just gotta think, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you to the point where you're like, I know it would be delicious. A Pop-Tart. Get a hold of yourself. Get a grip, okay? Because that second part, when it comes time to like volume, are you eating salad? Are you are you eating a big old smoothie bowl or Jello, or maybe even mashed potatoes where the fiber in them are filling, or maybe even apple. Actually, apples are clutch, because if you eat a Granny Smith apple, a couple things will happen. First of all, it's a carb source. Second of all, big fiber source, very voluminous. That sponge-like apple consistency is that texture really does get you full. And then the last thing is, it actually keeps you full in your belly, with the fibers and everything. So you feel full. And then the last part is that internal thing. Protein keeps you full. Try to eat an entire chicken breast and feel hungry after for delicious. You can't do that unless it's ice cream, but that's just because everyone likes ice cream. Everyone always has time for dessert. I'm talking about, can you smash a chicken breast as a normal individual and go, I require 3 more, please? No way. The protein gets you full. Fiber gets you full. Sometimes in the wrong way. More like a Diddy party in there, but that's besides the point. Well, what are you trying to get at, Luke? What I'm saying is, stop eating a stupid Pop-Tart. I know they're cheap, even though they're not. They're $2 at the store. Spend your time and eat something else. I really wouldn't care. Think about it like this. A banana is 90 calories, sometimes 100. Let's round off to 100. Imagine you have a massive banana. Imagine if you eat it and not use it for the method that you usually use it for, and you indulge and eat the banana. And you're like, that was just as satisfying as a Pop-Tart, which means not by much. Let me eat a second one. You have now consumed 180 to 200 calories of banana. You have fiber, micronutrients, potassium, so you can keep drinking water without dying. And also, you're really healthy. Good job. Then from there, you decide, I'm an absolute glutton. I need more bananas. Just like your mother. And you start to eat 2 more bananas. Maybe at the same time. Maybe both in your mouth at the same time. You eat 2 bananas at once. First of all, that's nasty, all right? Second of all, get that thought out of your head. Third of all, now you've eaten 4 bananas worth about 360 calories overall. Or, hold up. 360 calories to 400. And now that is the amount of a Pop-Tart usually. Are you satisfied now? Are you absolutely indulged? By the way, bananas are about 60 cents a pop, sometimes less, let's say 50 cents. So you have now spent $2 on fresh organic fruit for for the same cost of a Pop-Tart. Congratulations, you're healthy, you're full, and you're not eating processed garbage. Although it is not shelf stable, so I'm sorry about that. That's just one little aspect I should throw out there. Oh yeah, we were talking about identity. Whew. Well, I don't claim to have anything. While I do want identity, while I do strive for it, I am not bound by it in the ways that you may think. Think about it like this. I like photography. I like doing YouTube videos like this. They're kind of like vlogs. They're also kind of just perspectives on life. I try to offer a perspective maybe you've heard before, maybe you have heard in your head and you seek to hear it from someone else, or you simply, well, you're just a cool guy and you think I'm pretty cool too, and for that you're pretty cool. And then you got to think, okay, maybe I go to work and I talk to people about their health insurance. Okay, there's that. And then I like to walk on nature trails like this, and I want to explore the world. I could care less if I still lived in this town. I would leave it all in a heartbeat so I could see the world and photography everywhere. I mean, give me $20K a month, YouTube, and I would travel everywhere. All right, I'd be all over the place. I would never come home. Maybe I would to thank my parents. Give them $10K real quick. Does money consume our lives? No, but if you gave me $4,000 a month, believe me, I would not need to have a house. I would be wherever I want. I would invest $1,000 of that money, and the rest would be living life. I don't need a lot per month. I don't need a lot of money. I just require a little bit of time and a little bit of space. The freedom to make money from wherever you want. And I'm not just talking about clocking into work every day somewhere. I'm talking about true freedom. Remote job where as long as I have an internet connection, I'm good. As long as the markets don't crash terribly, I'm good. Investment, you know? And if I could do that, it would be amazing. It truly would be. But the reality of life is I may have to go down the other path. 60 hours a week, 2 vacations a year, a family, 2 kids, and a decent house. And then when my kids grow to be 10 years old, a slightly better house with a better life, I guess. While family's important to me, I do see travel something fascinating. I don't need to go to Dubai on some rich dude's yacht. I just want to go to a different country on a different trail next to a waterfall sometime in the winter, sometime in the summer, with beautiful views. I could care less about the money of it. I could care less about the gear. That stuff is something you hold on to for a lifetime and you pass down to generations. That doesn't matter. The flight's there, well, drive there, don't fly. Maybe get there once and then never leave. Or, get a decent priced flight there and then stay in an Airbnb instead of a hotel, or get cheap food there because that's what the locals eat. They're not eating the expensive Nobu. In Miami, you gotta go to the special spot. You gotta go to the spot. And that's what I'm trying to offer you in life, is that stop thinking about these material things. Start being a cheapskate while you can, while you're young and you understand that, well, money's expensive. Money's expensive to buy, to have, to keep, to give away, to maintain. And then once you stop caring about it and stop caring about what other people think of you, maybe You'll use your money more wisely, and you won't have to go to the most expensive steakhouse in your city because it's your first date, or because you're a goober and you have to go to Nobu tonight with your club homies because it's your birthday. What an idiot. Or get a VIP table at a club for no reason at all except your homies say, let's do it. Well, fair enough. If your homies want to do it, that's okay. But I still think it's stupid. Anyways, let's reset real quick. I'll see you in a second. Bye now.